The recent outbreak of people from China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan who were lured to Cambodia by fraudulent syndicates with the promise of high salaries and who were subsequently imprisoned as a result have drawn significant attention and become the focus of major media outlets. A victim's account: I was trafficked 4 times in 7 days. Taiwanese people have been lured and trafficked to Cambodia, where they are beaten, abused, resold, and have their personal freedoms restricted. As of August 21st, Taiwan has received 420 reports, of which 72 people have returned safely to Taiwan with the help of various sectors. One of the girls, Pipi, who was rescued in July, attended a press conference at the Taiwan Legislative Yuan to talk about the most horrendous nightmare of her 24 years of life, hoping there wouldn't be another victim. Pipi said she was introduced to a high-paying job in June 2022 and was flown to Cambodia. Upon landing, she was driven to a fraudulent park in the special economic zone known as Westport in southwestern Cambodia. It was then that she realized that she had been scammed. While there, she had to engage in fraudulent work. If she didn't comply, a stun gun would tase her. However, this is only the beginning of her nightmare. She was soon resold, then abused and sexually assaulted, and in just 7 days she was traded like a commodity 4 times.
I've been sold 4 times in these 7 days. I saw different parks. All of them have big gates. There are all kinds of things inside, such as clothing stores and supermarkets. But you can't get out. Before getting inside, your luggage will be checked for guns. Test for COVID-19 is very strict too. Basically, there's no way to escape. Even when you jump off the building, you will fall inside the fence.
Fortunately, she had a cell phone with her. She took pictures of the wounds on her body and asked for help on social media. Pipi's family also notified the Taiwan Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She was finally rescued back to Taiwan with the efforts of all parties. The Taiwan Ministry of Foreign Affairs said human trafficking was the legacy of the One Belt One Road project of the CCP. Taiwanese who went to work in Cambodia and then lost contact have received constant attention. While Taiwan, from the government to the private sector, is busy with rescues, on August 20th, the Chinese embassy in Cambodia issued a letter to Taiwan compatriots in Cambodia, claiming that the compatriots from Taiwan are Chinese citizens. If you have any difficulties, please contact the Chinese embassy. The Central News Agency of Taiwan reported that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Taiwan said on August 21st that Cambodia's Westport has become a hotbed of crime for fraudulent syndicates, a legacy of the CCP's One Belt One Road policy. It has so far victimized citizens of Taiwan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, and other countries. The Foreign Minister of the Republic of China, Joseph Wu, said, I think, regarding these claims made by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Chinese Communist Party, we should look at this matter in Cambodia. It's the legacy of the CCP's Belt and Road policy. This fraudulent group of the CCP has caused our nationals to suffer. Under such circumstances, I think this claim of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the CCP should be worthy of our nation's joint discussion. Cambodia's National Police Deputy Director also said earlier that in recent years, criminal syndicates that have been uncovered to lure illegal workers are mainly from China. Westport is the stronghold of Chinese-funded organized crime groups. Located in Sihanoukville Province, Cambodia, the full name of Westport is called Sihanoukville Special Economic Zone. It was originally a small fishing village in Cambodia. In 2016, the Cambodian government selected it as a special economic zone to attract investment, and under the boost of the Communist Party's One Belt One Road policy, hundreds of Chinese companies moved in. The Cambodian government also issued 91 gambling licenses to Westport, which led to an influx of foreign investment and hot money. According to local officials, within 2 years after opening of casinos, there was an influx of at least 500,000 Chinese in Westport. Chinese ran 90% of the stores, Chinese owned 150 of the nearly 200 hotels and guest houses. In addition, there were 41 karaoke bars, 46 massage parlors, and nearly 400 Chinese restaurants. One of the founders of the Thinker Cambodia, a Cambodian think tank, said, since 2013, when China advocated One Belt One Road, Sihanoukville, which is now called Westport, has seen about 90% of the businesses owned by Chinese. There are high walls and wires in the park, isolating it from the rest of the world, making Westport a criminal haven. But the frenzy didn't last long, as Cambodia issued a gambling ban in August 2019. It closed all gambling activities and withdrew the licenses of the casinos, causing an overnight collapse of the gambling industry and the collapse of the real estate and related industries. According to rough statistics, as many as 1,155 uncompleted properties were left behind at the time by China, accounting for 70 to 80% of the total number of buildings in Westport. After the collapse, Westport had fewer gamblers and speculators, and these investors began to transform their original gambling into a form of fraud. They lured young people from all over Southeast Asia with high salaries to work as online fraudsters and eventually used violence to coerce them into becoming slave laborers for the fraudulent operation, attracting more victims to Westport or treating them as meat tickets and blackmailing their families directly. There were cases where the ransom was paid, but still the victims had their organs taken out and sold. They also trafficked people into slavery and prostitution, smuggled rare and exotic animals and medicinal materials derived from animals, and laundered illegal money from China.